Calira is an equipment booking platform built for lab managers and lab ops teams who need to manage shared equipment. And one of the things that our users tell us they value the most is the data they get. Here's an example of one customer dashboard. On here, you can see user activity per room, most booked equipment, average booking duration. And you might wonder, well, does this require hardware installation? Does it take a long time to set up? And the answer is no. It's purely software based, and most labs can be up and running in as few as a couple of days. And this is what it looks like. This is the equipment overview. Here you can see at a glance all of the equipment that you have available. And if we click into an individual piece of equipment, we can also see how you'd be able to make a booking. And for an individual user, this is very easy. All they do is drag and drop to select their time, click confirm booking, and they're done. But as a lab manager, this is also where you can upload and add additional metadata about the equipment so that your lab users can see it. You've got the date of purchase, price of purchase, the equipment type. You can also look at your asset ID to make sure that it's lined up with your asset lifecycle management platform. You can also provide all kinds of additional information for your users here. And down here, we've also got the label that tells you what type of equipment it is and all this useful documentation as well. So you can see the warranty, the manual, the SOPs associated with this piece of equipment, all made available and visible to the users. So you don't have to dig it out for them. This is also where, as a lab manager, you can control access to the equipment, whether that's via user groups, depending on what teams they are a member of, or indeed whether they're trained to use that equipment as well. And you can update this as and when training is completed or if it lapses. This is also where, for any individual piece of equipment, we can keep tabs on maintenance. We can see the last maintenance that took place, what type it was, and whether any maintenance is booked in the future. This is also where we can understand whether there's a maintenance contract attached to it and the full history of all the maintenance that's taken place. If we want to look at maintenance contracts in more detail, we can go to this view here, where we can see all of the ones that we have set up for the lab. And we can also add new ones as well, including setting a 30-day reminder for when it's going to expire, and also covering what maintenance it actually covers and which equipment is covered as part of that contract. One other cool feature that we have is workflows. So if in your lab you have specific workflows that you run all the time, and we can look here, for example, at this cell culture assay, users can book this in a single shot with a few clicks rather than having to book individual pieces of equipment. The platform will look for the availability across the entire lab and will book these pieces of equipment in sequence so that it's all done automatically for the user. And this can be defined however you want to as the lab manager. It's also really easy to add equipment to the system as well. If I go over here and click add equipment, I can either upload a CSV with all of the data in one bulk shot, or I can add single pieces of equipment one at a time as and when I need them. And I can add and upload all of those documents and images, descriptions, and label my equipment here as well in one single view. Now, of course, we've already talked about maintenance, but how do you let people know that something has broken down or isn't available because of maintenance happening? Well, we can do that pretty easily in the announcements feature. In here, we can set up a new announcement that's either general about the lab itself, or we can make it specific to the piece of equipment. We can select the equipment that it's related to, and we can say whether or not to make a selected piece of equipment unavailable during that time, and possibly also to decline or cancel any bookings for that piece of equipment in the duration of when that announcement is valid. And we can specify who receives that also. It's also really easy to add users. We can add them by email or by a web link, and we can select when these invites will expire. So we can keep a really tight control on who is actually using the lab, what permissions they have, and whether they are part of any access groups or they have that training. And all the while your lab users are using the platform to book equipment, and while you're using it to manage your lab, Calira is gathering all of this data in a structured format so that you can produce really detailed reports in the Reports tab. And here I can filter by start and end date times, what type of data we're going to be looking at, how we maybe want to aggregate it, and any filters that we want to add as well as part of our export. And all of this comes back to this dashboard. This is where you get all of that data feeding into Dashboards like this, which tell you everything you need to know about where problems are occurring in your lab, and it will help you in making those difficult CapEx decisions in the future about whether or not you should buy more, sell more, or move things around. This has been really a very quick demonstration of the Calira platform. There's a lot of features and functionality we haven't even touched on here. And if you'd like to find out more, or if you have questions about some of the things you've seen in this video, feel free to book in a conversation with us. There's a link in the description below this video, or in the email that we sent to you originally with this video in it. Thanks so much for watching, and we hope to hear from you soon.